I have been studying BRICS for almost 3 years, and I've noticed something surprising. They fit well with the new financial system in ways many people don't know. In this video, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about this because we are starting to see a lot of the signs of the tide shifting and fully focused on the area of digital cash. This is also speeding up the effort to create the new banking system we've been discussing and studying for more than 4 years. Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Nick. The first clear sign of big change was when Biden announced sanctions against Russia. After the penalties were announced, Executive Order 14067 was signed just 24 hours later. Many folks missed this, they ignored it, they had no idea about it, and the reason why is because major media was just focused on, saying, hey, Russia's bad, focus on this, focus on this. We received Executive Order 14067. You might be wondering, Nick, what is this? You keep asking about it, but what is it? It's an executive order describing the creation of a digital dollar, or in their word, it was a CBDC. We now know that CBDCs are banned, but safe coins are still allowed. The US could create a safe coin very quickly. They might just name it the digital dollar. They don't need to refer to it as a CBDC. The term CBDC is not allowed. Creating a digital version of the dollar is allowed. I mention this because I want you to know that it was 24 hours after those sanctions were imposed. What did Russia do after that? They took action against the dollar using all possible tools, including blockchain and cryptocurrency technology. Let's return to that later, but first, let's discuss this. Nigeria is now a member of BRICS. This is Africa's biggest oil producer. Last month, China and Nigeria resumed a currency swap deal worth 15 billion yuan. Which is about $2 billion, half of that, which was worth more than 15 billions. Many people believe that BRICS is not a concern. We will discuss that shortly. We have breaking news. A Saudi Arabia minister stated that the country is still evaluating its position in BRICS and is paying close attention to it. Saudi Arabia says it is looking at various factors related to membership. Saudi Arabia plays an important role in the petrodollar deal. The petrodollar deal has been discussed for some time. In 2024, it was a heavy matter because everyone was saying, is this the end of the petrodollar deal? There was no statement about changing the agreement between Saudi Arabia and the United States. So there isn't a formal deal between them to sell oil using US dollars. There is still no news about this. We're still waiting for OPEC to make an announcement. This deal is complete. The petrodollar deal is over. Until something changes, much of what we're seeing is just meant to grab attention, get clicks, and boost views. There's been many signs that we might start selling oil in currencies other than US dollars. When that happens, the impact of moving away from the dollar will become very serious. Even though we still hear discussions about how we will manage it, many of those talks are not happening. They aren't very smart. Many of them are proving what we've been discussing. The US dollar is losing its power, is losing its charm. For example, over here we have Trump alarmingly think Spain is a BRICS nation, which is very funny, but he also threatens to impose 100% tariffs on the bloc when engaging in business with the United States. Take a look at this. Spain is a BRICS country. Do you know what a BRICS country is? You will. Understand it. If the BRICS countries want to do that, that's fine, but we will charge them a 100% tax on any business they do with the United States. Do you know what BRICS is? You all know, you understand what I mean, right? So, of course, he does definitely make a slip up there by saying, Spain is a BRICS country. What I find very surprising is that he says, you know what a BRICS country is? Well, you're gonna find out what exactly does that mean. It could have several meanings. We don't know what it's about, but it doesn't really matter, does it? If he's saying, Spain is a BRICS nation, you could argue, he's just looking at, South Africa. Saying something like South Africa or Spain by mistake isn't a big deal, right? People began to make a big fuss about this regardless. I am focusing on the 100% taxes. Got it, that's what I'm concentrating on. And you need to start charging fees, easing the dollar, and getting these countries to rely on it just strengthens their desire to move away from it. They're moving away from the US dollar because the United States has armed the dollar for we're talking decades. These countries are fed up with it. I mentioned something similar because this refers back to October. Remember, this is Trump saying he will add 100% taxes on countries that stop using the US dollar as the main currency in the world. Take a look. If a country informs me We really like you, but we will not continue to use your cash as a reserve. We will no longer support the dollar. That's fine. You will have to pay a 100% tax on everything you sell in the United States. We really like your work. I hope you sell a lot of it in the United States, but you will have to pay a 100% tax on it. He will then say, "Sir, I would be honored to keep the reserve currency. I'll be playing, but it won't be like chess. It will be more like checkers. But you don't have anyone else who can speak like that." I base my remarks on my thoughts, and I still feel the same way about these taxes today. The second you have to threaten tariffs on countries, you keep using the dollar, it instantly makes the reserve currency status defunct. The US dollar is struggling no matter what the establishment media is saying. The BRIC countries are growing faster than the G7 in terms of GDP. Using blockchain technology and digital money, the goal here is to eliminate the US dollar and the system built on paper money. Everything is arranged. The West and the BRICS are promoting the same top goals, which means Agenda 2030, pay attention and take notice. This goes back to the penalties, doesn't it? Announcing sanctions and then pushing executive orders that are in the same plan of CBDCs. It's literally to form a US CBDC. Now we know that Trump has banned CBDCs, right? We are not making a CBDC. No, what we'll get is stablecoins. We already know he's starting joke coins. Stablecoins, can you believe it? He's going to promote a stablecoin, claiming it is backed by the US dollar to help strengthen the dollar in the digital world. But what a lot of people are not going to understand is that stablecoins are programmable, just like a CBDC. They're basically just a CBDC just given out by a private-based company that could easily be controlled by the US. But besides that, right? Yeah, the BRICS are beating the G7 in terms of GDP growth. We know that they are quickly getting closer to the G7 to 45%. As of January 2025, GDP is 27% compared to 45% for the G7 countries. This is very important. Is everything okay? They keep moving ahead and growing quickly, and they are also using AI technology. BRICS Plus is going to make a big impact. Generative AI could contribute an extra $600 billion to these countries by 2030. Yakov and partners estimate that their project will have a huge effect of 1.4 trillion, which is 20% of the total power of AI. BRICS nations and their friends are achieving new levels of innovation, efficiency, and growth. Is this the beginning of a powerful new economy driven by AI? Let's talk. We should take the BRICS seriously. And the crazy thing is that a lot of people are not focused on the BRICS because they just don't care to look at the BRICS. This all relates to the changing world of the global banking system. Smoke Dog reminds us to keep an eye on BRICS Pay in 2025. BRICS Pay will be launched in 2025. It will be in use by 2025.